Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie hangout. Well, if you're stuck inside like I am during the quarantine, it's time to catch up on our movies. But we don't want to rent and pay for these movies. So I found on YouTube, if you go to YouTube's movies and shows and then you type in free with ads section right here, you get all of these awesome movies for absolutely free. And there's going to be some ads, but it's like watching television or whatever. There's going to be ads. So let's just quickly go through these. There's so many right here, and I'm going to pick out the ones that I've seen or I want to see. That way, it just kind of sifts through all the clutter. So starting out, I'm real excited. We got Bloodsport right here. Bloodsport is one of the classic 80s canon martial arts films. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme's first big debut in a feature film. Awesome movie. A lot of people like comedies. Barbershop 2. I saw the first one. Pretty decent. Um, What's the Worst That Can Happen here, starring Martin Lawrence and Danny DeVito. Not a bad film. If you like documentaries, especially ones about health, Super Size Me right here, starring, and I believe it's directed as well by Morgan Spurlock, documentary filmmaker. Really, really good film. I used to eat a lot of fast food. After I watched that movie, I'm like, I ain't gonna be eating that now. That movie, I would say, changed. I mean, honestly, it really transformed the fast food industry because after that, they did away with the super size me option, and then they started introducing some better quality ingredients as well as things you can order. Child's Play, um, excuse me, first Chucky film, hands down the best one. Maybe the second one's pretty darn good too. I like that one a lot when they're like in the toy factory. That one's awesome. But Child's Play is always going to be a classic. Documentary with great power. This is about Stan Lee, the Stan Lee story. Really cool about his early life as well as how he got into the comic book business and how at the time in the beginning there was really no money. Nobody took comic books serious. Kids would just like you know, go to the grocery store and get like a 15-cent comic book, 25-cent comic book, look at it and just throw it away. Nobody even thought of even collecting them. If I could go back into a time machine, one of the things that I would do is I would get a ton of Spider-Man number ones, a ton of Batman number ones, a ton of the Superman number ones, because they'd be worth like millions of dollars. So really, really cool. Firewalker, starring Chuck Norris. It's Chuck Norris. I mean, come on, doesn't get any better. Lone Wolf McQuade, starring Chuck Norris. Yeah, I would definitely check that one out for sure. Over the Top, another awesome canon 80s movie. I mean, how good? um, the movie is about truck driving and arm wrestling. I mean, that right there, who would ever want to go see that? But it's got Stallone as the lead, and it's a canon movie, so it's awesome. If you could take that subject matter and make it a great film, you're doing something right. So that's a great movie. Penelope, a lot of people saw that one. That's just not my type of film, to be honest. Let's see here, going on down. Super Size Me 2, this recently aired. Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken. It's about the chicken industry. It kind of focuses in on like Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, KFC, stuff like that, and that type of stuff. So I don't know. I might see that. We'll see. Elvis: The Final Hours, really interesting film. Then we got down here Aliens in Egypt. I don't know about you, but I just like alien documentaries. Like on Discovery Channel, Ancient Aliens with that dude with like the weird blowout haircut, and his answer for everything is aliens. I I don't know. I don't really believe in aliens, but I just think it's so interesting and fun to imagine if there really are. And then over here, the Salem witch trials. Anything that has to do with the Salem witch trials is really, really interesting. I might check that out, although it's 3 hours long. I mean, I don't know if this is like an actual trial that's going on, but that's pretty long. So I might only watch like the first 20 minutes to see if it's worth anything. Then we got Top Dog right here. This came out when I was a kid, starring Chuck Norris and this shaggy dog. Uh, I don't know. Be Cool with John Travolta. I tried watching that movie, couldn't get through it. First 30 minutes and I turned it off. Into the Blue, not bad. And then we go on down here. Stolen with Nick Cage, typical Nick Cage movie. Oh, The Gate. The Gate is a classic horror movie from the 80s. When I was a kid, this scared the crap out of me. I would definitely watch it. It's pretty good. It's low budget, um, practical effects. They use like puppetry, miniatures for a lot of it, and it's pretty good. It's an enjoyable film. If you got little ones, Star Kid is a great movie for little ones. Let's see here. Then we got there's like weird like straight to streaming service. I was gonna say straight to DVD, but they don't even do that anymore. It's like straight to streaming. The Forger with John Travolta and Christopher Plummer. I have never heard of that. I don't know. John Travolta's in like 3 to 5 movies a year that just go up in the ether of streaming services. It's really bizarre. Him and Bruce Willis, they're in tons of these movies that you never hear anything about. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you have to see that. That is the best hour and 26 minutes and 13 seconds you're going to get here on YouTube. Practical effects, that's exactly what the title is. It is not falsely advertise or overpromise or underdeliver at all. It is literally about killer clowns from outer space, and it is fantastic. All Dogs Go to Heaven, one of the most heartwarming animated movies of my childhood. It's not a Disney movie. I thought it was as a kid. It's actually done by animator Don Bluth, who's also done The Land Before Time, An American Tail, Fievel Goes West, Rock-a-Doodle, Thumbelina, Patrol in Central Park. And he used to work for Disney, then he went off and did his own thing. And right now, he is developing a live action series on Netflix starring Ryan Reynolds for Dragon's Lair, which is an animated video game that he developed in the 80s that was really popular. So super, super excited about that. And All Dogs Go to Heaven is a fantastic movie. Very sad, very heartwarming, but a really, really good film. Ronin, not a bad De Niro movie, but it's nowhere as good as Goodfellas or Casino. Let's see, going on down here, just a bunch of like whatever movies. She Devil with Roseanne. I'm not gonna see that. Dark Tide with Halle Berry. This is another one of those movies that just kind of looks like a shark movie. And I don't know. It's like just one of these lame shark movies they get made and they just kind of get forgotten or whatever. Meatballs. I just finished watching that. That's pretty decent. It was came out in 1979. It's Bill Murray's first starring role in a movie, and it's directed by Ivan Reitman. Ivan Reitman went on to direct Ghostbusters. It's a pretty good 70s, 80s kids go to summer camp movie. It's not a horror movie like Friday the 13th or anything. It's actually a fun-loving, lighthearted summer camp comedy. And this movie kind of is like a staple for that summer camp comedy genre that kind of later sprung up because of it. And Bill Murray's really good in it. I think he's like 29 years old, pretty young. And yeah, it's a cool movie. Let's see here. We got going on down. Trespass. I might see that. It's a Nick Cage film. He's in like 4 movies a year. It's ridiculous. Man, just a lot of crap here. This is why I'm sifting through it, because there's so many movies made every single year, but how many of them are really even watchable? Maybe like 2%. Ernest Goes to School. I actually might check that out because I've seen all the other Ernest films. The best ones, though, are Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Scared Stupid, and Ernest Goes to Jail. So those are the best ones. And then later on in Jim Varney's career, they were spitting these things out. So I might give that a shot. Poltergeist 2, a really good follow up to the original Poltergeist. There's an older actor in it who he looks really skeletal and just creepy as heck. And it's because the actor literally was battling cancer at the time. And it just really adds to his performance because, man, he looks the part. Atlas Shrugged is a pretty good movie. And let's go on down here. We got. This looks like maybe a TV movie of Cinderella. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, Perfect Bid. This is a documentary about a guy who cheated playing The Price is Right. Perfect Bid, the contestant who knew too much. I started watching this, and the guy that it's about is really strange. I don't know if he's like on the spectrum or something, but he's a little bit off. It was interesting. Let's see, Ip Man, The Final Fight. A lot of people like those types of fighting films. Let's see here. Once Bitten. Once Bitten is one of those forgotten um, vampire movies from the 1980s. It stars a young Jim Carrey, and it's not a good movie. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not good, but it is enjoyable to watch because there are some scenes in it that are interesting, and it is kind of funny. But as far as a movie in its entirety, it's not in my top 10 vampire movies. Okay, I finally found something decent to watch. A lot of crap on here, but there is some really good stuff. I mean, you got to remember, it's free. So you're not going to be getting Academy Award winning movies left and right. You're going to be getting stuff that's just kind of like whatever, but there's some real hidden gems in here. So that's why I'm going through it for you. Um, if you want a Robin Williams, Nathan Lane comedy, uh, The Birdcage is fantastic. It's really, really funny. And then we go on over to Van Wilder, one of the best college late 1990s movies that I watched as a kid, starring a young and still hot Tara Reid. And of course, it's got Ryan Reynolds, who's just awesome. He's basically been the same character his entire career, and nobody cares. It's awesome. He's just hilarious. And then going down to The Secret in Nim. The Secret in Nim is, I think, by far in my top 5 favorite animated movies. It's a Don Bluth film. He did, as I said earlier, All Dogs Go to Heaven, as well as a lot, Land Before Time, a lot of great um, animated kids movies from the 1980s and early 1990s. And The Secret in Nim is so heartfelt. The animation is ahead of its time, and the writing is so good. As a kid, I really enjoyed it, even though a lot of the details and the subject matter went over my head when I was just a little kid. And now as an adult, I rewatched it. The thing not only holds up, it actually is even better as an adult. So if you want to watch an animated film with your kid, I would definitely suggest The Secret in Them. The only thing is that it's very dark. It's a very, very dark. I mean, even like the coloring and everything on the screen is very, very dark. A lot of the scenes take place at night or the evening, and some of the situations in it are kind of scary, especially to a kid. Um, I mean, you're talking about death, you're talking about some real heavy subjects here, but it's a fantastic film. And let's see here. We got The Mothman. I have not seen that one. I saw The Mothman Prophecies, which starred Richard Gere. That was really good. This would be interesting because The Mothman fascinates me. But it looks like that's pretty much it. Um, that does it for all the movies that are offered right now. I'm sure it'll change like in a week or so on YouTube. But it's just good. It's just good to check out some free stuff, especially when you're stuck at home. So anyway, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.